There's something that works better than SMART goals in the modern classroom. That might sound anti-agency, but the truth is having students set their own academic goals is usually unproductive and not even very motivating for students like we think it is. That might be surprising to you as someone who literally wrote the chapter on SMART goals. 10 years ago, I had students setting specific, measurable, time-bound, fully student-owned goals for how much progress they wanted to make during their core skills when they learned their academics using laptops and learning apps. So they might have said, okay, I want to earn 10,000 energy points in Khan Academy, or get to 15 words per minute in typing club, or complete this number of lessons in Lalilo. And that was how they set their goals and tracked it for the week and then reflected back at the end of the week. But then I realized this uncomfortable truth. Students are generally terrible at estimating how much they can get done while in their zone of productive struggle or their zone of proximal development. And so they end up setting goals that are either way too easy or way too hard, even if they're trying to do it right. So let's talk about 3 alternatives to student SMART goals that are the sequel to my original advice to have students write SMART goals. The first method is to let the algorithm assign the goals to the students. So the idea is to use AI-powered learning apps that can determine the right number of lessons or points and assign that to the student for the week. So for example, there's a program called TimeBack with 2-Hour Learning that assigns the student how many lessons or how many XP points they should be getting on any given week based on where that student is, the difficulty of the lessons ahead, all sorts of calculations. And really what that does is it helps set a target for the student and take the guesswork out of it. The second method is for you as the guide to set the challenges. So you might say, okay, we're gonna do 5 work sprints and each one's going to be 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. We'll take one longer break of like 30 minutes somewhere in there. And here are the number of points or lessons or units you need to complete for each individual student during the week. That's obviously more work for you as a guide because you have to plan ahead of time and estimate how much the student can get done, but at least you're putting that research into it instead of it just being guesswork for the students. The third method is for you to continue to have students set their own goals, but be sure to coach them for calibration. So as you're conferring with students throughout the week, you'll want to ask them on a scale of 1 to 10, was this a 1 or a 10 in terms of like difficulty for you, ability to get the lesson done? You want to be like at an 8 or a 9 in terms of this is difficult for you. And also just observe, like, are they getting their work done? Are they not getting the lessons done? Or are they getting them done and then sitting around? And help them calibrate so that they can learn how to set goals at the right difficulty level every week. Real agency isn't about guesswork. Real agency is about being given a threshold of what you're challenged to accomplish for the week, and then being given the tools and support and loving but high expectation guidance to reach that threshold. That's more effective than having students write their own SMART goals.